Now, the second part of our lecture would be on research problem. So remember, research always starts with a problem. It is to answer specific problem. So a research problem is a question that a researcher wants to answer, or a problem that a researcher wants to solve. So that is a research problem. You will going to identify and formulate research problem. That is the very first step to do your research or to start your paper. The selection of research problem, it depends on several factors. We will discuss each of these factors presented in your screen later on. So it is believed that most of good research studies needs a lot of time to select research problem. So selection of research problem is very crucial. You need to understand what is the problem and if it is worthy to be done or to be solved through research. According to Kerlinger, a problem can be an interrogative sentence or it can be a statement. So you can ask relationship that exists between two different variables. The answer to question will provide what is being sought in your research. So it tends to problem is defined as the situation which everyone is, or majority of the community is suffering from. So a solution can be found out only after you will do your investigation. So in other words, research problem is an area of concern where there is a gap of knowledge on the existing body of knowledge. So it is important that you have to identify the research problem that you want to work, and that is the very first step that you need to do at this period. So generally, it starts with broad area, and then you will delimit it, narrow it down to a specific statement of a problem, which you will work later on. So this step of research process is considered challenging because you need to identify the broad problem and find a way to make it specific. So you have to know first what are the sources of your problem so that you can identify or you can state the broad one correctly and delimit it later on. So in the picture here, we have different sources of problem. So we have personal experiences. These are our day-to-day personal experience, which may be a good source of ideas to formulate research problems. So for example, we can have domestic violence due to some mental issues or due to some abuses, alcoholic or drug abuses that can be related to pharmacy too because it involves drug addiction. So these experiences may provide ideas to identify different problems occurring that is related to drug utilization. So there may be such life experiences you have right now that is worthy to be addressed using research methods. We can have also practical experiences. Okay, so these practical experiences we gain through our area of practice or through our internship or through our learning process, where you have realized something is wrong in the curriculum, maybe something is wrong in the instruction or in the instruction process, or something is wrong in the field of working field, like in the hospital or in whatever area you are working right now. Another is, we have here the existing theories. Okay, this one. So this is a process of theory development or theory testing. So I have mentioned this a while ago, that we can test existing theories for our jogs if it is functioning or if it is efficient enough. Okay, so we have also social issues. So topics are suggested from global influences or political issues relevant to healthcare community, such as HIV or female sexual harassment or gender equality, things like that. We can also have healthcare equality and antimicrobial resistance or any other political issues that concern the healthcare professionals. Or you can do brainstorming with your group mates, and from that you can identify research problem. So there might be ideas that will emerge from your brainstorming that would be a very good start for your research. Okay, and then we have intuition. So traditionally, intuitions are considered good sources of knowledge to find new research problem. So you try to reflect what are the things that are happening right now and try to write it down, and maybe later on you can identify good research problem. And then we have folklores or mga folkloric beliefs that could be right or could be wrong. So you can test it like in our experimental type of research, where there are folkloric claims about plant or about medicinal plants, and then from that point we tend to do our research where we want to check or we want to know if these folkloric claims are correct or not. And then we have exposure to field situations where we can get plenty of ideas in order to have in order to begin our research. Okay, we also have consultation with experts. So you have your advisors. You may ask help what are their preview or what are their area of interest, and you may have they have sound experience on that, and you may want to consider their area of research and start formulating your research problem from that point. Okay, so these are the different examples of sources of good research problem. Now, once you have identified your research problem, you have to undergo a process. But that process would only be possible if you know the differences of these terms. You have to know that a research problem is different from a research topic, from a research purpose, and from research questions. So let's just define them in order to make it specific. So a research problem, it is the educational issue or the problem in the study, while the research topic is the broad subject matter being addressed in a study. while the purpose is the intent or the objective of your study, and the questions, it's more likely the specific questions the researchers would like to answer or address in the study. So these are the terms that you need to remember. They are not interchangeable.